Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, what's going on, bro? How you been, man? How's trading going? Yeah, man, trading has been good. I'm about to start a new small account challenge. You mean another account flip? Nah, man, not an account flip. I'm gonna actually grow a small amount of money responsibly. Bro, you say that every time. Listen, man, you blow accounts, you don't follow your plan, you lack discipline, and you don't even have a trading strategy that has edge. You keep following these fool rules online. What's gonna be different about this one? I know I did all of that, but bro, hear me out. This time is different. I have a risk plan, so I'm not gonna be over leveraging. I have a playbook with clear rules and a strategy. I've been practicing in the demo. I've been practicing hard. And also, my mindset is more stable now. I'm not gonna be gambling. I'm just trying to grow an account and have a consistent rising equity curve. You know what I noticed, bro? You're trying to prove yourself right by proving others wrong. And that's not the way to go. You need to focus on mastering the skill. And there's a few things that you need, but credibility is not what you should be chasing. You shouldn't be trying to prove your family wrong. You just want to keep spinning your wheels doing that. You're right, bro. At first, I was trying to prove people wrong. They're telling me that I was crazy for trying to leave my six-figure job and that I should be content with what I have. But personally, I'm hungry. I want to have the freedom that trading would allow me to have. I figured out something though. I was chasing quick profits. I was trying to make $100,000 from a small account, but I've realized that I need to focus on the process instead of the money. I hear you, bro. Okay, so the number one question is this: do you have edge? Do you have a trading strategy that gives you an advantage in the market? And if you say yes, how do you know? Yes, bro. I know that's the number one thing that I need. I'm glad you asked that. I have built undeniable proof to show that I have edge. I have a playbook that I've back tested, I forward tested it, and I've grown my account in the simulator. Now I'm going to pressure test my psychology with a small amount of money to see if I could grow that amount. I'm going to start off with small risk, and then I'll become more aggressive. Bro, you've done successful challenges. Let me know how you would approach it. I'm all ears. I got you, bro. Pause. If this conversation sounds familiar, most traders die trying to grow a small account, and they continuously blow accounts and blow money over and over and over, not because of discipline, but because they lack edge. I've already done this multiple times, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So for 60 days, I'm going to take $1,000 and grow it live. Game plans in the morning, recaps in the evening. And the number one thing that you need is proof that you have an edge. But before we get into the actual strategy, the tools that I'll use, my risk plan, and my overall approach, I needed you to hear that dialogue, because that's the typical dialogue that happens internally. That was the war that most people have with themselves. And typically, those voices are what determine whether you'll succeed or blow up. In this video, I'm going to share with you three things: how to compound a small account, a strategy that finds the safest and best tickers to trade for a small account, and a risk strategy that will help you prevent blowing up a small account. Even with aggressive risk, I will not blow this account up. Let's start with the simple 3-rule framework. Number one, we're going to set a dollar amount, not a percentage, on a small account. So I'm going to be risking in the beginning $50 per trade. I'll scale that to 75 all the way to $250 a trade or higher. But since the account size is 1,000, I'm going to start off with 50, build some cushion, and then I'll start looking for, $150 to $200 a day, which used to be my ideal target. As an engineer, I made about $350 a day as a junior. So simple risk, and I'm going to scale this as I go in profit. Number two is 2 trades per day. I'm only going to trade A setups, the best setup. So I'm going to limit myself to 2 tickers, 2 setups max. Once I take those 2, I'm out. So this is all about quality over quantity. I may have no trades at all. Number 3, if I hit 2 losses in a row, I'm done. If I hit a max loss, then I'll cut my risk by 50% the next day. So what that will look like is in the beginning, my max will be 100. Then I'll chop that down. So that's at $50 per trade. And then I'll cut this risk by 50 if I were to go into drawdown for some reason. So it'll become 25 per day, all the way down to 25, max to 1250. and I cannot go back to my normal risk until I make back what I lost. And that's even if I'm in profit, right? So let's say I go up by 100%. So I take it from 1,000 to 2,000, and I'm risking more per trade. If I hit max loss there, I will reduce on the next day, even if I'm in profit. That way I can keep my risk controlled. So I shouldn't hit max loss on any day. If I do, then I'll chop down. Okay, so what strategy am I going to use? I'm only going to focus on in-play stocks. And in-play for me means that the stock has a news catalyst. It's either a same day catalyst, or it may be second day, third day, maybe even fourth day continuation play. The third is elevated volume. I'm mainly going to focus on mid-cap stocks and higher. I'll only trade low float if it's an A plus. So mid-cap and higher, what does that look like? I'm looking at around 20 million float between $1 and $30. And the reason why I'm trading between $1 and $30 is because I have a $1,000 account with about 6x leverage using CMEG. So I'll have about 6K buying power. I'm going to be risking about $50 per trade, and my stop will range from 5 cents to 30 cents. So I'll be looking at about 250 shares to 1,000 shares. And if the price is too high, I won't be able to afford 1,000 shares or 500 shares. So I'm looking at between $1 and $30, favoring the lower price, maybe around that $9 to $10 range. Will be the sweet spot. Now, when I open up the scan, I'll probably look at 5% gainers, 5% gappers, because the mid caps want a stock that has a news catalyst. The stronger the news, the better. And then I'll be looking at an R-vol of 5 or more. In general, this is a pretty solid list that I'll be living by for the small account challenge. And I mentioned I'll trade low floats that are under 20 million if they have a strong catalyst and they are A plus. I can see a short squeeze. You may find that I'll take some of those during the challenge. Okay, so we talked about what causes the stock to be in play. Now let's jump into the trading strategy. The stock is in play if it has news, elevated volume, higher time frame trend, or the stock is breaking out, or it dips into a strong level. I have two setups that make up more than 50% of my P&L. Number one will be a breakout strategy. Price moves, we have consolidation or ascending triangle. Price squeezes up and breaks out. The second is a pullback strategy. We have consolidation, price breaks up, pulls back, and continues. These are classic setups. You may say, how will this work? They seem so simple. Well, the selection process is probably the most difficult. And also with these setups, when you layer on the best scenarios for price, volume, and order flow, this is what will help you have a superior entry and exit once you're trading a stock that is in play. Let's dive into position sizing a bit more. So I have $1,000 to trade with, and CMEG is going to give me 6x leverage, which will give me about $6,000 in buying power. I'll also have a margin account with CMEG, so I don't have to wait on cash settlement. My share size will be determined by the size of my stop. So we have two scenarios here. One is a stop loss of 5 cents, and then I have another where the stop loss may be 30 cents. So here in this scenario, if I want to risk $50 per trade, then I'll buy about 1,000 shares here. If I want to risk 30 cents per trade, then I'll buy about 166 shares, right? So my share size will fluctuate. I'm going to program hotkeys to make this easier and keep the risk at $50 per trade. Okay, let's talk tools for a second. The broker is going to be CMEG. They're going to give me a margin account. I'll have Dash Trader Pro as the platform for charting. I'll use TradingView, and the scanner will be Trade Ideas. Now, the upside, let's talk about the potential. Okay, so I'm going to start at $50 per trade. Now, if let's say I have a 65% win rate, which is doable for me, 1.5 R per trade. That's a worst case scenario. Okay, so after let's say this is about 30 trades, I may be looking at 17.5 R. I'll be up $875, this is above 80%. So after about 200 trades, if I kept the risk at $50, 125 R, 6,250. huge growth. And then if I just kept, trading this account over the same year at $50 per trade, then I'm looking at 625 R with the same stats of 65% win rate, 1.5 R. I'm looking at 31,250. So the stats should be a lot stronger than this if I keep the same win rate in R. But I'm going to scale that risk up as I mentioned. So these numbers should grow, right? So it's going to be great for you all to witness this. Now, how am I going to deliver this? So I'm going to have a morning game plan live that I'm already doing on YouTube. We'll have an evening recap. Sometimes this will be live. I'm going to share updates in my IG stories. And you also need to click the link in the description to join the Discord to follow along. I'm going to pick one person to give a spot in my accelerator. The accelerator program is a 90-day program where I take a trader and help them build themselves up. I take them through building a playbook and everything that they need in order to trade consistently and be profitable. So follow along, join the Discord, share your charts, share your write-ups, and we will do this together. I'm doing this for the community. Please like and subscribe, hit the like button on this video. And if we can get this video up to 1,000 likes, then I'll go ahead and start the challenge ASAP. This isn't about flipping a $1,000 account. It's about showing traders what happens when discipline meets real-time edge. If you want to skip ahead and see my roadmap from 0 to your first 100K, watch this video.